I found it interesting that Rich McKay said that they are going to have the officials, when they make an announcement, and if a flag is being picked up after further conversation with replay assist, you're going to hear it. And I know that still won't be enough transparency for some fans who think that their team is going to be wronged by an official that they don't see in a replay process that you don't see. And I think if Del Tufo was here, he would tell you what the XFL takes you into the process, and you actually hear the communication between,
I think that's right.
between the officials in the booth. What you would hear Pereira talking with the officiating, or you would hear the actual conversation. I don't think you'll ever see that sort of transparency. But
cool.
it just again, I can't tell people enough. There is no 100%. There's no way there's an official that's making a decision because he or she have money on it, or that he or she, have some sort of personal vendetta against your team, or knows who you're betting on. Nobody does. Now, I understand you might even be sitting there saying, Chris, well, couldn't you said that about Tim Donaghy? Is there some bad lieutenant apple that's out there? I guess I shouldn't say 100%. But the NFL vets, I bet you they see like financial transactions and anything. They will make sure that this is not coming home to roost in their league.
Kind of have to now.
And in terms of the eye in the sky, that Rich McKay, the chairman of the competition committee, basically said, because I think there's, there are some teams that would love to have the eye in the sky in the same way the XFL does, I guess, that has the eye in the sky officiate the game. I don't think that'll ever happen in the NFL. I don't think you will ever see
just where everything
is officiated from replay assist. And I guess they wouldn't call it replay assist anymore because it's not assisting anything. They would be running everything in terms of officiating. I don't think they'll ever do that. And I don't think they'll ever have replay assist put a flag on the field. They'll have one that's already been thrown by a human being picked up because they see something that he says is completely objective, not subjective. And what that means is just like if it's a toe on the line, that's objective. If it's somebody that grabbed the inside of a jersey that might be considered holding, that's subjective. They'll never make that available for replay because they did that for instant replay. They did that for pass interference a few years ago, reactionary to what happened in that NFC Championship game that was so terrible, such a blown call. That was a disaster. You'll never see that again. And I kind of agree with that approach of having the human beings on the field call and officiate the game, and the instant replay chime in when something objective can be called. I kind of agree with that. And that if something objective can help pick up a flag, that should be used, not something objective that something was missed by the human beings, place a flag on the field. Would you agree with that? Or you want to see replay assist, place a flag on the field? You missed that intentional grounding. We can see it on replay. Thus, we're now chiming in and we're throwing a flag on the play. And there would be a way for you to have that indicated. How? By
you got to challenge it.
Well, no. What I'm saying is it wouldn't be challenged. The instant replay would buzz in like they do in the last 2 minutes of a game and say, stop play, we're taking a look at something, to throw a flag on the field. I think that would be just completely rejected by NFL fans.
I mean, we clearly saw Justin Herbert get blown up while he was out of bounds. No call on that. I mean, that's a huge play in that Charger game. So I do see some benefits to that.
Yeah.
Because something objective and by
clear
the way,
and obvious, quote unquote, clear and obvious.
By the way, that is something that Rich McKay did not. I didn't bring up with Rich. Is that the replay assist is going to chime in to say pick up that flag on, as he mentioned, intentional grounding, on roughing the passer, but where they could say, hey, you threw the flag, because you thought the guy got hit in the head, neck, and upper chest area, and he didn't.
I think we can agree that's going to be an improvement. There are way too many of those calls.
But the other one is that they are going to use replay assist on is throwing flags for late hit out of bounds. That they say pick it up, guy was in the field of play. That should not be a flag. They're never going to buzz in and say you missed it, because that, I think, opens up way too much of an avenue. The league just will never go in that direction. And I don't think fans will want it. I don't think fans would want to have the play stopped when you're ready to see the next play is coming. And
for what, holding or something?
Right. For buzzing down. Sorry, our humans missed it, so we're buzzing down. And then it'll be like, well, why didn't you buzz down the last time? Well, it wasn't just as bad. Holding is holding. Just because it's so obvious that you're going to call it with the replay assist here or Sky Judge. I don't know. That's why.
Also, would they be parsing that out in slow motion or in game speed? Because but those are two different things, and they look two different ways.
The number of times when sometimes I get caught up in this, clearly, when football season is deep into it, right? Deep into it, you're in week 7, 8, or 9, and I'm watching Major League Baseball playoffs. Mm-hmm. Somebody hits a home run. I will literally sometimes, just because I'm, so deep in the football season and I'm whacked out, I'm tired or whatever, I will think for a split second, is that home run going to count, or is there a penalty on the play?
Right.
Can you imagine?
I feel you.
Home run, leaves the yard, touch them all. Wait a minute. There was a flag because there was a balk before the pitch and we didn't call it, but replay assist is now, you missed the balk. You know what I mean? Like, that's the sort. Now, that's an extreme, but it's using a sport that doesn't have these issues. But it's the same way as the plays just counted.
Well, the Kelsey play, front and center. One of the coolest plays of last year's football season. Didn't count. Guy lines up offside.
And for a penalty that's rarely
called
rarely
anyway.
seen.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I don't think we'll ever see replay assist become Sky Judge. But what I would love for them to do is expand the concept of what's objective, and for the folks in the competition committee and the ownership, the membership, they think maybe it's a bridge too far to then throw all 15-yard penalties, roughing calls, unsportsmanlike roughing calls into the hopper of replay assist, because the number of times you'll see defender hit a receiver in a way that looks violent and they flag it, and after further review, that play, that's a heck of a formed tackle. I'd love to see that flag picked up too. But now you're getting into the gray area of what a defenseless receiver is concerned, and they don't want to open up that. And I'm basically saying, let's figure out how to open the door, because these 15-yard penalties that are getting flagged by NFL officials out of the concept that they are the first line of defense for the player safety rules of the National Football League.
Some of them are ridiculous.
And some of them get thrown, and you are like, come on.
Yeah.
You are like,
There's
come on.
There's at least a few a game.
And there are some times with replay assists, you should be able to pick up the come on flags. I'd love to see it. But as you heard, when they were saying that, as Rich was saying, when it comes to telling the Eagles that their concept of replacing the onside kick with a one-shot 4th and 20 type play, if you convert that, you get to keep possession, and that he kind of likes that idea, and the other people on the competition committee that liked that idea, they had a table pushing for it because they needed to use all of their energies on the kickoff rule. That's why I basically said exactly what I said. There's captains of industry in that room. Yeah. They can't walk and chew gum at the same time. And the answer basically came back that in terms of changing a rule when it goes against some concept of tradition, that, you can only focus on one. Like, they only have the capacity to change one of those rules at a time.
It seems like that's going to happen, though. At some
What, the
point,
4th and 20?
Yeah, a play for an onside kick.
Well, when we have another conversation with Rich or Troy Vincent the head of football ops, or anybody from the competition committee. Again, the issue, we'll revisit that. The issue there is, what if there's a defensive penalty? And as he said, that right now the onside kick works 13% of the time. It's dropped down to 5%. That's an issue. They'd like to reconfigure that, but they don't want that figure to go up because, as he said, there is a benefit to, leading a football game.
Yes, but you can do the metrics on what the conversion rate is for fourth and whatever.
Maybe.
And you can get that yardage and the number to be less than 13%.
Well, they can figure that out. They can. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.